and I could never stay at home. Every time the police brought me back, I was bang out the door again, do you know what I mean? It's getting to the point I'm getting so frustrated. My mental health will deteriorate, Lily, it really will. I got my own front door key, but guess where they fucking put me?
Where are you?
Newhaven. I've been living in Newhaven for 10 days now. Feeling like shit, being honest. Thinking about it now, I generally would honestly rather go back in my tent. I really would. I don't like it here. Do you know what I mean? I don't speak to anyone really. Like I said, I know people in the block, but I don't speak to them. It's just hard to get food and things over here. I fucking hate it. I despise it. I didn't want to go home last night. I was going to sit out.
I thought this would be a safe place to stay because of the high-rise buildings and the street lights. But actually, I got attacked here. I got kicked in the head and I had a concussion. And that wasn't by a homeless person. There's a hostel just there that I've lived in, St Patrick's, and I've also slept out here, all over this part of town. So yeah, doorways, parks, hostels. See that road there, Farm Road? That was my last job. I worked up there in a Cooper's Cask as a chef. Yeah, I know that's not part of the homelessness, but that's what I want to get back to. Every time I walk past it and that board that says Cooper's Cask on it, it just reminds me of where I used to work and the life I had before. I'd say a lot of the females on the street do have some sort of boyfriend or male friends that you pair up. Generally people do pair up, and women don't generally pair up with other women, no. You've generally got a group of like 4 or 5 with say 2 women and the rest men. And that is generally protection, company, just helping each other out.
Alright mate, you out? Yeah, where can you meet you? Second. Hello? 99. Alright, well, I'll see you soon. Yeah, 4, yeah? Alright, I'll see you soon. Alright, bye. Bye.
See you
soon.
Love you.
Won't be long.
Okay. Now all I've got to do is sit and wait now. The hit I had was about 5 hours ago, and it's starting to wear off, so I feel like I've got a really bad cold, and it's horrible. It's a horrible, horrible feeling. For over 12 years, we split up. We got reunited 4 years ago, and ever since we got together, within weeks of getting back together, we both started taking heroin. Tony had never injected heroin till 3.5 years ago, and now he's worse than me. He's basically come up to me with drugs, knowing I'm clean, and I've done the same, and said, do you want a hit? And neither of us have said no. And we've got back and forth, and it's like, I don't know what's going to stop me, to be honest. All I do want to do right now is have a hit and just let everything fade away for a little while, then back to reality in a few hours.
Oh, there's £5 there. That's what I've got for my food for the next couple of days. So I have to think forward, get some bread, and get some other bits to go with it. JP will probably have to go out begging again, or myself. I have no choice but to, yeah, because there's no other way to live. Like, how am I supposed to get my tobacco? How am I supposed to get food, shower stuff and things like that? I have to go out for my electricity. if I ain't got do you know what I mean? If I ain't got 5 of my electricity, that's it. You can't use fucking nothing. Right. So we're by Kingsmill. It's 80p. Get some cheese, spread to go in it. Grab some energy right now. Whilst I'm rattling. This is the shopping that I buy, which will now keep me going to at least Saturday, probably longer than Friday. I'm starting to feel a bit distant from JP too, a little bit, like since I've been over here, and he feels that I've distanced myself. My friends feel like I've distanced myself from them. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't have a choice in where I lived.
It's good, but it's not. I mean, it's good having my own little space, but it's nice to have someone there as well, you know what I mean? I know I was saying last time, I miss my own bed, but now I miss my comfort. There in the bed, you know what I mean? You can't win, can you?
She said to you that she feels quite lonely out there.
Yeah. She's got no one. I said, well, I've got no... I understand when she says to me, well, you've got everyone in this. I said, no, well, I haven't, but I go back to my hostel and I don't come out. So I've got no one. She said, but if you want to, you can go out. And I've been over where she lives, and there's nothing there, there's nothing. There's fuck all. I think that's why she goes home late at night. Later the better.
Yeah, this is one of the better pictures that I've found. During the day it's very, very busy, but during the evening you'll get people more talk to you than anything, and sometimes that's quite nice. Spare any change, please. Everyone's got a blag, they call it. You can either say, a lot of people say they're pregnant. Now I don't agree with that, but if you have to get money, you have to get money. That's one thing I would not do. I've said it's my birthday quite a lot, I'm not going to lie about it. And just, yeah, there's a lot of different blags and everyone's different. I just normally just basically ask and that's it. Spare any change, please. Have a good day. You have to beg in the morning to get your dinner, your food, your breakfast. Then you can chill out for a couple of hours if you've had your hit of heroin. You can chill out for a little while. Then you have to go back out 2-3 hours later. You're always on the go, basically. You're always running around, walking around. I do actually have, if you want to see, do you want to see it? I do have a big abscess right on my side here, which will need treatment from the hospital, where I inject in the same spot every day. Quite bruised and sore, and started using drugs just over 2 years ago to sort of heal the pain of losing my children, and now I have a quite severe heroin habit. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, to be honest, at all. Spare any change, please. Spare any change, please.
See, I just can't do it. I'm looking for all the pretty little shells so I can bagged them all up. We are going to see my daughter, who is nearly 2. It's the only time I get to see her once a month, so I try and make it special. It's very, very important. Like, I generally, whether I'm ill on death's doorstep, I will still crawl to that contact. The doctors say that I can still be around my child, then I will crawl to that contact centre. Social worker pissed me off of all. But I've got to think positive vibes. I see her next week, so I'm trying to hold him through. So it's just, I don't know, I'm a bit lost for words, if you know what I mean. I'm really angry with her and I can't do anything about it. Like, apart from go to my solicitors, scream and shout at them. And I feel bad to scream and shout at them because it's not their fault. It's social workers' fault. If she gets adoption, then my contact will be reduced to completely nothing. So I'll see her for about 3-4 times in 1 month, and then she'll be wiped away. But if she gets special guardianship and things, I'm going in for direct contact, so I'll still be able to see her once a year at least. So I'm trying to fight every possible corner that I can with her.
Injecting gear is way more important, but I do want housing, and if I had to give up the drugs to get housed, I think I could do it with help. But right now, the heroin's way more important. It's such a bad place to be in when you're clucking. It's the lowest you'll ever get. Makes me think about my kids, my family. It's a vicious circle. Money, drugs, sleep, money, drugs, money, drugs. There's no escaping it right now. Babe, I've got to do it here, because Joe and some guy in a wheelchair have been in there nearly half hour doing their hit, and I can't get in there, so I'm going to have to do it here. That's what you get for £10.
How many of those do you have to do a day?
4 to 6. Yeah, it's disgusting, I know. But what has to be done, I'm afraid. I have to be very careful because I'm in public. If I get caught, I could get arrested. Very easily. Very, very easily. Straight into my side. 1, 2, 3. Done. Because I've been using so long, I don't really get a buzz anymore. It just makes me feel better. I do all right begging at weekends. I can make quite a lot of money. I'm always ticking. Think about my kids a lot and how a disgrace I am to them right now. But I will make my kids proud one day. That is a guarantee. But right now, I don't see any way out. That's as simple as that. That's all I have to say. I don't see a way out right now.
Morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Hello. Thank you. Okay. I'm taking my son's photos. That's what I've come to collect, so that's what I'm taking with me. There's my son. He's just turned 12 in July, and he lives with his dad. There's really no point me pulling him into this census crap that I'm in. He's top of his class and he's really popular. So, yeah, he's probably going to stay there for the remainder of his childhood. I had him in my life till he was 4, and he's 12, so when he's 16, I assume he's going to come and we'll have a good chat.
When was the last time you saw him?
About 6 years ago. It's harder being around my photos and coming back here. It's harder. to see everything. Kind of when you're out there, you don't really have to deal with any of this, and then you come back to kind of deal with stuff, and it just reminds you of what you've lost.
They tried to cancel it again, but she turned around and said, like, I don't want you to miss your contact, so I've got no choice but to cancel a couple of my meetings this morning and come and do contact with you for an hour or so. So you decided to pull your finger out your arse and actually do something about it now.
Evening. I've got a wet tail. I've got a little radio. I love my little radio.
What the batteries look for?
It's an absolute lifesaver, yeah. I've got attention deficit hyperactive disorder, hence why I'm a bit of a chatter. ADHD they call it. I was on Ritalin, which made me worse. I lived with my nan and granddad for years and I had everything I wanted. I had my own TV, my own room. I was treated really well, and unfortunately me and my granddad had a huge blazing row one night and he chucked me out on the street at 16. So, yeah. Best part of the night is cuddling up.
Laying down, cuddling
having a hit,
honestly.
cuddling up, but then having that first morning hit is amazing. It's just the greatest feeling I've ever had. Apart from giving birth to my kids and falling in love with my partner, a good hit in the morning makes the day. I have to admit, we have enough on us to get us one hit each in the morning, but no, one and a half each.
What do you think's the hardest thing about being homeless?
The drug, the money side of things. Having enough money for, I mean, even if you're not clean, even if you're clean, alcohol will be an issue. There'll be some sort of drug involved.
Spare some change, please.
Have a lovely night, sweetie. Spare some change, please. Have a good evening, darling. Have one for me. Just think about us. We've always got a doorway to go to. He does my head in. He's fucking greedy. I don't care if he sees it. He's greedy. Sick of it.
But I'm 21. Got my whole life ahead of me. I don't want to be part of this community.